Hey guys, no, I wasn't talking. I was just still waiting. I think let's wait till 3:15 and then we get started. I like that you called me coach. Sheila, do you know if anyone else is going to join? There's a lot, we can start. Okay, I guess we should get started since it doesn't seem like anyone's gonna join anymore. So how is everyone? كيفكم؟
الحمد لله. أنت كيفك؟
Alhamdulillah. How's the weekend? Let me start sharing my screen.
Good.
Okay. So last time someone asked me for how are you, Yara? Sorry, just saw your message. At home. Yumna مش Yara. Okay. Okay, so sorry, let me just turn off my Teams account and apparently just 1 second, guys. Okay. So last time we talked about a lot of things from metrics and how to track certain KPIs and stuff like that. And I thought it was a bit abstract for you guys. So let's go dig deep into the digital marketing side of things, sure. To give you some activities you can do, to give you some day-to-day experiences of what someone in my role would do, okay? But before we do that, I found this metrics sheet for you. I'm gonna share the presentation at the end. But basically what it is a cheat sheet for the KPIs that we were discussing last time, plus a few extra ones. Let me show it to you. So basically this sheet has everything you might need from basic accounting terms like COGS, cost of goods sold, profit margin, net profit margin, churn rate, to the startup things like average revenue per user, which is the ARPU, average order value, things like that. This will be very useful for you guys to understand how things go and to track the things that we were talking about earlier. One thing I need you guys to pay attention to is that if you're this last one only applies to B2B businesses, because as a B2C business you don't have contracts going out. Okay. Now, who wants to give a brief summary of our retention metrics, our LTV, the importance of retention, the funnels? Who wants to give it a shot? حب اندفاعكم وحماسكم. طيب. If you remember last time كنا عم نحكي حساب doing your numbers. Hi Sarah, you weren't here last time. Okay. So I think, did you get the presentation? It was shared with the group. I don't know if they shared with you. Yes, it will be part of this presentation that will also be shared with everyone. So we talked about calculating our metrics. We talked about knowing everything from our revenue to our profit margins to our LTV per customer to our retention rates. So, and we also discussed that it's very important to measure retention even at the very early stage, because that's when you know you found product market fit. What product market fit means is that you're ready to scale and you're ready to grow. So what we'll dig deep into this time is specifics on digital marketing, and I went really deep into Google Ads. I know a lot of you are not planning to publish any ads right now or any kind of paid marketing. Yes, Afaf, don't worry. I'll send the old one and this one again. Don't worry about it. But the reason I want you to take this session and understand it is because any kind of acquisition strategy can be useful to you even at the start. So I do recommend you use them, because if nothing else, they help you generate confidence in your market and they help you discover your market. They're the first step of any customer acquisition strategy or any customer discovery strategy. So first thing we're going to do right now is we're going to go back to this table that we discussed last time. I think we discussed this 2 sessions ago. Remember لما حكينا حساب انه any kind of marketing is split into 2 main categories, inbound and outbound, and those come in 2 phases, a channel that scales and a channel that doesn't scale. Who here can tell me what's a channel that doesn't scale? شو معناتها؟ Guys, you know I like participation. Come on. What's a channel that doesn't scale?
Can I try?
Yes.
I guess it's a channel that we cannot apply to a large number of customers.
Okay, can you give me an example from your own experiences that's not listed here?
For example, as you're starting to work and you created, let's say, a WhatsApp group to start managing the communication. When you have large number of customers, you cannot still use the WhatsApp group.
100%. That's a channel that doesn't scale. Hala. It's a support channel more than an actual marketing channel, unless you're using it for return customers. But you got the concept 100% correct. Who here wants to tell me the difference between an outbound marketing system and an inbound marketing system? Who wants to try?
I can help.
Yeah, look at me.
Okay, so outbound is anything that you have to reach out to people, and inbound is when من لحالة يعني people start recommending you and يعني promoting you.
Okay, can you give promoting you is a tough word because that's not what inbound is, but you got outbound right. You got outbound right perfectly, but you got inbound wrong. Who here wants to give a shot at inbound again? Yalla guys, he was close, so you can build on top of what he said. Shadi, Mike, no chat.
indirect يعني bound promotion خلينا نقول أو relation.
كيف يعني indirect؟ فسر لي، ما قصدي انه it's very important that you get inbound, by the way, because inbound is most likely going to be your long-term strategy for all of you, not anyone specific.
So يعني مش ضروري يعني direct promotion هي بطريقة غير مباشرة يعني العالم بتشوفك يعني ببوستس ببلوجز بهيك قصص. So مش بروموشن مثل بتبين على الفيسبوك او شيء هيك يعني الفكره تبعها. So
okay.
indirect articles.
I think you got it بس مش قادر تشرحها. حاسك فاهمينها بس مش قادر تشرحها.
Okay.
Can I try?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. For the outbound, it's like we're telling them come by. بس للinbound لا, where it's more like creating awareness and attracting them وهن خلص منهم لحالهم they're gonna buy.
That's the closest one so far. So basically what inbound is creating content and material that's helpful to a community of people who find that content because they want to solve their own problem and end up finding you as a result of finding the content, and they're not looking for you. Inbound is just in your face ads. تعال عندي أنا فاتح هون كذا كذا كذا. That's outbound. Inbound is think of مثلا إذا أنا want to attract these clients بفتح blog حساب how to solve problems in a startup. Just write a bunch of articles, and eventually, if you guys get funded, when you guys get funded, مش if, you're gonna contact me asking me for help to help you scale, and you know what I mean, because you've read my content and you understand how valuable it is, and then that by extension in your mind extends to the person who posted the content. So both these have two different aspects: things that scale and things that don't scale. Okay. Inbound scales heavily when you start working on it properly, like when you're creating content marketing, when you're doing blogs, videos, whatever, just to attract people. but it takes a very long time to take effect. Outbound, on the other hand, is designed to have direct impact because it's done by paying. So you're paying for people's attention and you're going to get people's attention. Okay? In this session, we're going to be focusing exclusively on outbound, and we're specifically going to go dig deep into Google AdWords, as deep as the time's going to allow, while discussing other specific things. And before we dig into these channels, we're going to talk about a few in general, and we're going to talk about some metrics. Cool? So, I just want to test something in you guys before we get started. How do you guys think? Each one of you here has a business that has potential clients, right? I don't know, consumer marketing tends to not benefit a lot from cold emailing, but let's assume we're taking cold emailing as a strategy. Okay? Who here knows what cold emailing is?
Is it when you send people an email?
Is it when you use مثلا ماركي هول البروجرامز انه بتبعت ايميل لكل العالم بتعرفهم؟
حكيتوا فوق بعض قاعد ما سمعت في بس واحد منكم يعيد. The lady that was talking, I didn't know who that was.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it when you send bulk emails to people you don't know, then اللي بيعملوا first click and second click بصير بيطلع عندك الايميلز تاعولهم؟
إذا they clicked عندك and gave you their emails, that's not a cold email. If you bought a database and you're sending out emails to this database, or you've somehow found them in a phone book or whatever and sending out emails, that's cold emailing. There's a very important distinction here. So let me explain. In a cold emailing scenario, the customer that's gonna get your email has no idea who you are, has never heard of your business, and you're not even sure if he wants to work with you. Steve is the most spray and pray method, where you just send out as many emails as possible and you hope that a few of them come back as sales. Same thing with telephone marketing. If you have a database of numbers or business cards, you just start calling them, getting them to sign up, purchase, whatever. Okay? What you were talking about was email marketing in the sense that it's a nurturing campaign. So if I have a landing page and someone goes on this landing page, gives me their email address, and I start emailing them, this is an inbound style because I'm nurturing them, I'm educating them about my business, and then I'm pitching my business. That's the very important differentiation. Now, let's take this a step further. How do you go about cold emailing? How do you get your first few emails to send out? Who here has a few ideas on this?
Give something away.
Purchasing databases, because I said purchasing databases.
You give them a free item, a free service, but they have to subscribe.
That's a form of inbound. That's not a form of cold emailing. Remember, how many they have to subscribe, so they're giving you their email. And I have like cold emailing where you're getting their emails without them knowing that you have their emails. How do you do that? Who else wants to try?
في companies بيبيعوك اياهم للداتا.
بس حكينا على سبب هودي بدي غير طرق. I want you guys to get try creative.
You look at their channels, Facebook, Instagram, see if they have any contact information there.
That's number one. That's the first thing you do. So once you start prospecting and start building a profile of people that you want to target, you start looking at social media and trying to find their emails. Now, I'm about to teach you a few things, which I decided to teach you them because I think it'll be useful for you because we do have a couple of B2B businesses here that would benefit a lot from this. A form to submit, Shadi, is a form of email marketing, and it can be outbound if it's based on ad, but it's mostly people submitting their emails to you. This is something else. So let's just go out of full screen for a second. Okay. So feed a bunch of tools like this one. Sorry, let's do it this way. This one. And this one. So مثلا, let's say Rafi wants to sell a branding package to a business or a set of stickers to a business. He knows their company and he knows that their email, he knows that their domain is on مثل حالتنا smartcard.ae. بيجي لهون بيكتب smartcard.ae. It finds it has 6 results for you. It gives you the addresses. You have to sign up to get the addresses, but it basically tells them to you. Curious if these are all correct. You can pretty much have better guess them without signing up. So here's my question. هلا علمتكم هيدي how to get the emails. But what they are doing right now is the form of inbound or outbound marketing. Look at this here. Sorry?
Is it outbound?
Wrong. It's inbound. Because remember, I was looking for a way to find email addresses. I knew them I knew what they were. But let me show you what I mean. Instead of sending out an ad, so there they are. This is not an ad. I click on this because I want to find an email. And they gave me a tool to use for free to find that email without actually telling me about themselves or anything. So it's a form of inbound marketing because this basically they attracted me with the purpose, with my intent. And then they're converting me at the moment of me showing my intent, which is finding those email addresses. Is that clear for you guys?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so let me give you another example. Behind it, Smart Crowd, which is us. We do a lot of outbound, which is ads and stuff, but we do a lot of inbound. We have calculators on our website to calculate your finances. We have investing tips. We have investing tools. We have investing methodologies on our blog, right? When you look for these kind of things to learn about them, you're not looking for Smart Crowd, but you end up on Smart Crowd because the material is there. That's why it's called inbound marketing. So most kinds of educational marketing are inbound. Okay. So the official definition of, oh wait, wrong button. The official definition of outbound is any marketing strategy designed to reach out to potential customers with the goal of putting their attention inwards towards your business. Really in your face. So, you're too small to start pushing for ads. You're just starting out. You don't know if your idea is worth putting money in or not. I think if you worked so far, Oshi, you know that it's worth putting money in. If you're at this stage, mine. Second, most of you have some first users, but you want to expand the pool to get more feedback, to get more understanding of the product. A couple of you, I'm pretty sure Rafi wants to make actual sales because khalas, we're sure of the product, we just want to push it out. Okay? So you can build your entire business on inbound marketing, but you can't start with inbound marketing. The problem is that inbound marketing takes a very long time. And unless you actually have a big investment in your business that allows you to completely avoid outbound and just build on your inbound strategies, you will suffer a lot and you probably will not survive. So just like the old expression goes, to make money, you have to spend money, right? And when you're small, to get your first users, you have to spend money. To prove your idea, to get your product market fit, you have to spend money. Okay. So common outbound channels هلا حكينا فيهم فوق: cold calling, cold emailing, Google ads, social media ads, TV ads, radio ads, billboards, and flyers. As you can tell, they're mostly ads. They're all advertising, right? They're not just creating content for people to come find us. No, we're pushing it out to them. So this is the most critical point about outbound, is that it pushes short-term results, not long-term. The problem with this is that unless you're profitable on your ad spend or have a very consistent strategy that is designed to bring you more inbound later on, if outbound is the only strategy you have, you will probably fail. Unless, again, you have a very consistent strategy that brings in more money than you put in, than you put out. Okay, so as I made a billboard ad for $20,000, and it costs my employees, let's say, $2,000 worth of time, meaning 4 employees, 1 week each. That means for the billboard to make me money, there's a دافع عليه $20,000 وأنا دافع $2,000 in employee time. I have to make back at least more than $22,000. But Kevin, there's a catch, because if it's a business, like for example, if I'm doing a marketing business, and to deliver a service, I have to spend money, which is, remember CSC حكينا عنه last time, cost of services provided. Then there's an extra cost to deliver that service, which means the money brought in, the ROI, the return on investment, should be much higher. Clear so far?
Yes.
Okay, let's keep going. How to measure outbound performance? Hala. The one thing about outbound that is that since everything is mostly ads, they have the general same principle of measuring. So you will always see a CPM, you'll always see a CPC, you'll always see a CTR or a CPA. Notice that these all apply to all kinds of outbound marketing except for email, cold email and phone calls. Those need specific metrics because we don't do by 1,000. So CPM means cost per million, means cost per 1,000 impressions. Yani how much would I have to pay for 1,000 people to see my ads? But I need to reword this a bit, because cost per 1,000 impressions does not necessarily mean 1,000 people saw my ad. It means my ad was displayed 1,000 times. So to explain the difference, it can mean 500 people saw my ad twice each, or it can mean 1,000 people saw my ad once each. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, fee metric is my cost per unique impression, or frequency adjusted cost, but more or less forget about those. We'll discuss them when we get more advanced in AdWords. Like when you guys start publishing ads, you'll notice how to adjust for them, because they'll be part of your metrics. It'll be a cost per unique user. Facebook makes this very clear, مش مثل AdWords. So you know how in Facebook when you publish and you post a post, fee reach and fee impressions? Impressions are what we're talking about here. Reach are the unique people. It's very clear in Facebook, it's not clear anywhere else, because they don't like to specify that down too much. Especially in Google Display, on the same website, you might see the same ad in 4 different types. So in 4 variations, that means 4 impressions. So تبرم شوي. CPC, cost per click, which means how much you pay for every click you make. Now, you might have heard this in the context of PPC, pay per click, which is what most search advertising is. You pay for every click, not for every 1,000 impressions. You do pay for 1,000 impressions, but the main model is paying per click. A click is bound to happen way before the 1,000 impressions get hit. So Google charges you for the click, not for the 1,000 impressions, but you always need to extrapolate to know the proper value of these calculations. CTR is very clear. It's click-through rate. It's literally the number of clicks over number of impressions. بهذه البساطة straightforward. CPA, cost per acquisition or cost per conversion, it's the cost of the action that we wanted the user to make. This is where I need to explain a bit. So let's say, who here wants to go through me with this exercise so we can do this on your business?
Go ahead.
Always the very exact one. Yalla. Let's say Rafiq عنده a new billboard, a new poster that he wants to sell. He creates a landing page for that poster. You might get a free sample, and then you have to purchase, right? Let's just start it that way. So Rafiq publishes an ad, and this ad leads to this landing page where people have to get the free sample and then buy, or just directly buy. So my conversion is the free sample in this case, or the purchase. My calculation has to be on a cost per that, not just on a cost per click. And you might pay for the clicks, but what's more important is how much it costs you to actually acquire that customer. So إذا حكينا be something similar to this last time, حكينا عن CACs, cost per acquired customer. بس هون لأن نحكي عنها CPA because it doesn't have to be a customer at this point yet. It can just be someone who signed up to my newsletter. It can be someone who read a specific article on my blog. It can be someone who made a specific action, like مثلا فلان عملت عن Hunter هلا. I sent a domain, I got email addresses. Right? That is the acquisition. That is the thing I measure my cost at. Clear? If it's clear, let's see. Ah, wait, I kind of messed up my slides. Yep, خلينا نرجع على email. Please calculate these for me. CPM, CPC, and CPA based on these numbers. And post your answers in the chat. Sure, guys, are you calculating?
Yes, بس لحظة.
يلا خدوا وقتكم. خدوا وقتكم. In the meantime, I'm gonna go get me a coffee. It should take me 2 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
شو صار زعبرة؟ حدا جوجل، حدا طلع ياهو، حدا عمل شيء. رفيق, CPM is $1,000. CPC is 61 cents. CPA is $20. Okay, I'm not gonna comment on that. Keep going, guys. Who else wants to answer? Someone's mic is الهواء. Yumna, I need to ask you to mute yourself, please. Yumna.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Sorry, بس لأنه كان عندك هواء حواليك. Sarah, what's your CPM? قديش CPM طلع معك؟ ما حدا غيرهم is gonna answer؟ عن جد؟
I think my CPM is wrong. إنه طلعت بجوجل صراحة للفورمولا.
زعبيرة. شو طلعت معك CPM؟ لأنه I was expecting just about everyone to get the CPM wrong.
Okay. طلع معي 230,000. إنه 230,000 على 1,000 times 1,000.
إف. قربتي له بعدين غلطتي بآخر بارت.
Yeah, قلت لك غلط.
No, قربتي. بس رفيق is way off. بالCPC وبالCPM. Jana, 435 for CPM. I think Jana got it perfectly. Let me just make sure. Thank you, Jana. CPC أنا هون عمل غلط because apparently I can't do math. So my mistake here and for CPC is I did 6,000 over 1,000. It should be 1,000 divided by 6,000, which is what you guys did correctly, and I did mentally هون ما بعرف ليه كتب على presentation. فيكم تبهدلوني عليها عادي. But Jana, great work. You got CPM perfect. So for those that didn't understand, let me just correct this so it doesn't cause any confusion first. How to get your CPM? First, we have the number of impressions, which is, let's use the pointer, which is 230,000. Now if CPM is cost per 1,000 impressions. The first step is divide this by 1,000. Right? Yani we have 230,000 impressions. Then the next step is to divide 1,000 out of 230, because those are the impressions that we got. Clear for everyone? سارة عرفتي شو عملتي غلط بالCPM؟
Yes, آخر شيء I multiplied بدل ما أعمل divide.
مية بتعني 1,000 divided by the end result. Yeah. CPC, you guys did correctly. Anyone عنده problem with how we calculated these? Farah, Iman, Jana, you got them correct. Iman, anyone? No? CPAs are 20 perfect because it's directly 1,000 divided by 50. So let's go back to the email metrics. So email is different لأنه even though we're pushing things out, but we're pushing things out in a much more controlled manner, and there are much lower numbers, and there are different sets of interactions that happen that we need to measure. شو يعني؟ يعني بحالة الاد one click takes you to the landing page and you're done. بحالة الإيميل عندك send the email, open the email must be delivered, and then once it is delivered, email must be opened, and once the email is opened, a link inside must be clicked, and then the conversion happens. So even though email is a longer process, I want you guys to know that email is going to be one of your most profitable channels. On average, if email marketing is done properly, every dollar you spend on email marketing in a person's salary, in a tool, in whatever, brings back $43. So it has a 43 times return on investment. So things we need to measure: open rate, number of clicks, click-through rate, which is clear, so our clicks, and EPC. EPC is a metric that most people will not even know about. أنا أقول لكم عنها because I learned it from literally the best affiliate marketer in the world, and it guides us in where to put our focus. هلا في exercise, we're gonna dig deeper into this in the exercise, but in general, it tells you how much money you're making for every time someone clicks a link inside your email, and you understand why it's important later. For the exercise, you need to also know, هلا أنا مش هعطيكم bounced emails, but there's something called a bounced email, which means an email ما وصل للperson اللي بعته له إياه. It can happen لأنه كاتبين الاسم غلط, or كاتبين domain غلط. We're not gonna go dig deep into this unless you guys want to. ساعتها we'll make the next session about email marketing and these kind of things. هلا اليوم we're not gonna dig deep into this. So for all intents and purposes, open rate is just sends, how many emails you sent, actually how many emails were opened from the emails you sent, and a number of emails you sent minus bounced emails, which in this case is just email sent. Clear, Lahon? Anyone got a problem? Just write clear in the chat. I'll just write a thumbs up or yes or whatever. كتير بحب أحكي مع حالي، أنا صوتي كتير حلو. Yalla, calculate these for me here. Calculate the open rate, the click-through rate, and the EPC. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
لا ما تحط pressure علينا.
You're lucky we're not in the same room. You haven't seen pressure.
ايه I got a sense last semester وقت جيت على AUB عطيتنا training.
Oh, you remember me?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, of course.
Oh, عرفت انت مين.
You had كان في session مع a British person كمان.
صح. You were the انت كنت محجبة بالحجاب الاحمر.
Yes.
Yes, عرفتك من صوتك. لكن you know the kind of pressure I put on people, بس كمان it's not a lot, like رفيق معاني معي أكتر. شو عفاف؟ عم تحسبيهم؟ عم يطلع معك شيء؟ ولا عفاف بالمطبخ اليوم كمان؟ لا مش صاحبي مع الأرقام. عشان هول ارقام كتير بس هول عينين لينعملوا. شو guys شو الوضع؟
سؤال بليز.
يس
في عنا سلايد ببين
اصلا خليني بس اعمل ميوت لحالي اي ثينك. يلا
سؤال، في عنا شي سلايد ببين لنا الايكويشنز او الفورمولا لكل وحده؟
فيك تعيدي؟ عملت ميوت للاكشوال سبيكرز مش للميكروفون.
عندك في سلايد ببين لنا الايكويشنز او الفورمولا لكل وحده؟
اللي بعتها فوق بتبينها. I don't think حاططكم like specific slide على هودي فيها الفورمولاز على قدهم ما تعتريها.
في يصير عنا هيك شي بليز؟
سوري؟
في يصير عنا مثل شيت كل شيء الفورمولاز فيها؟
عم بعت لكم في واحد بعت لكم هلا شيت فيها كثير فورمولاز وبس ما عم بعتهم قبل ما نكون خالصين بالسكشن بنعمله لفيها يكون مش تشوفوا شيء دايركت قصدي.
داكور ميرسي.
سارة كيف open rate 1؟ How is that possible? If it's a rate, if it's open rate 1 and 100%.
ما بعرف، حطيت الاوبن ايميل على sent minus the bounces بس
what
بحس
bounces?
الباونسز I got wrong I think.
Where did you get the bounces? I told you there are no bounces here.
So على يعني على 5000 المفروض. اوكي هرجع عيد لحظة.
حتى رفيق يا خيبة املي فيك 2.27. عندك ناس فتحوا الايميل اكثر من الناس اللي وصل لها ايميل. $0.44. That's the actual number. Click-through rate is 300 over 2200, and sales revenue, which is EPC. EPC is not 1300. Sarah, correct? It's 3.33. EPC is the amount of money you make for every click. Earnings per click. So it's 1,000 over 300 in this case. طيب هون رح تعرفوا انتم قيمة ال EPC. Based on these numbers, outlet numbers. نحن بهالfictional company اللي عملناها هلا بعتنا اول ايميل كامبين. طلع لنا هالنمبرز من ايميل كامبين. وين بتحطوا الافورت تبعكم؟ Because getting numbers is one thing, understanding the numbers is another. رفيق سؤال، كيف طلع معك CTR 132؟ لو 13.2 مقبولة بس كيف 132؟ شو عملت برو؟
CTR because I'm كتبت يعني clicks through rates. So حسبت الريت أول شيء and I divided it accordingly.
Ma, that's wrong. It's click-through rate. It's not click-through the rate. It's the entire thing is a click-through rate. So it's click-through. So it's clicks over opened emails.
Okay. So it's 300 على 2200.
صح. تطلع 13.6%.
So
Next time بدنا cheat sheet.
لا اول شيء بدنا لوجيك بعدين we go through cheat sheets. ايوب كثير مغنجتكم. So again عملنا campaign طلع لنا these numbers. What is the recommended course of action هون؟
Do we go for open rates? لأنه it has a high potential يعني to reach more.
Makes sense. I'm going to add a piece of information here, بس make it makes things clearer. Industry open rate for a good email campaign is 30%. The benchmark تبعك is 30%. So what do you improve?
So I guess we integrate since we are beyond the open rate that is needed, we increase that.
Another way to think about this, even if you didn't know the benchmark, is that open rate at 44%, mahmouli, one in two people actually open my email mahmouli logically. صح؟ CTR is 13.6%. يعني عندي مجال حسن هنيك. That's where I improve, and that's what gets me higher EPC. هلا ممكن انت تقول لي انه اذا نحن عملنا more analysis على اللاندنج بيج نلاقي انه conversion rate على اللاندنج بيج كثير واطي. نقوم نحسن conversion rate على اللاندنج بيج بدون ما نحسن شيء بالايميل بيعلى our earnings.
Can you give us the formula for CTR?
CTR is just clicks in the emails over opened emails.
نادر عندي سؤال. يعني ال CTR يعني out of the people who opened the email, how many of them really clicked on the links اللي بقلبه؟
صح.
Okay, thank you.
But remember, it's a rate, not a nominal number. Okay, so it's always less than 1 and more than 0.
Yeah, thank you.
I need to find a way to shut up this thing. I'm sorry, guys. I need a second. Okay, done. So لحد هلا الكل معي؟ عفاف، فرح، شادي, everything's clear? Guys, we're only 8 people. Just jump in. 8 people وبيناتنا شيلة يعني وبيناتنا شيلة وأنا يعني you're actually just 6. So far so good, yes, بس إنه Jana, Rafi, and Sarah, the same 3 people. Come on, I want excitement, new people. Right, maybe this will get you excited. Yes, 50% عفاف. Perfect, enough for now. So, ليه أنا بلش بجوجل Ads? Because it's most likely what you guys are going to start with, unless you guys decide to start with Facebook and Instagram. Personally, I prefer teaching you Google Ads for a few reasons. One, Google is most likely the easiest one to get you conversions without a lot of effort. Sorry. Two, most people search for a product, they search on Google, they don't search on social. On social, ممكن يبين them will add, they get interested, but they don't search for it on social. All searches start in Google, which is why it's so important. 3, it's cheap. $5 a day is more than enough for you to begin testing and understanding everything you need. To give you an example of how powerful Google Ads are, there's a story about an investor in Silicon Valley who wanted to launch a gaming startup. He believes so much in data and data analysis that he didn't want to even name the startup before getting feedback from people and getting data from people. فشو بيعمل? He runs a Google ad on possible names for the game. بيعمل ad لجيم فيها dragons, ad لجيم فيها Vikings, وad لجيم فيها both Vikings and dragons, وad لجيم فيها ماشي ما خصه بالدنيا. He spends around $500 on these ads. The one that wins and after she gets clicks is the ad with the dragons and Vikings. So he builds that game and he ends up making $4 million in sales the same year. That's how powerful Google Ads are, even on a testing basis, not just on a direct sales basis. مثلا نحن in Smart Crowd 65 to 70% of our sales and conversions come from Google Ads. Okay? Hello. This is a quote that you should understand at him. Best place to hide a dead body is page 2 of Google search. Why? Because no one actually goes to Google search, to page 2. فاكروا انتوا باخر مره عملتوا سيرش على جوجل وكبستوا على النمبر 2 فيه. اي متى اخر مره كبستوا على نمبر 2؟
Never.
Exactly.
During desperate times.
Exactly. That's why you need to find a way to get on page 1. There are 2 ways to do that: Google Ads and SEO. But remember, here نحن SEO is very long term, so it takes you a very long term to reach page 1. Google Ads are instantaneous. Clear? Let's go. Come on, change. Okay. Now there are a bunch of campaign types to run on AdWords: search, display, YouTube, app install, dynamic. Search is any ad you see within the search results. لما تعملوا Google search, literally. Display ads are the small banners that you see on websites or on mobile apps اللي بينوا فوق تحت هول الاشياء بدها تغير that you see inside the YouTube video. YouTube ads that can be video ads or the banner ads. App install ads, ads يبينوا inside the Google Play Store. With dynamic ads, هني basic text-based and image ads that change depending on where they're located. Most of these are the same thing, but you understand why I separate them like this as we move forward. This is a search ad. I guess I blew your mind بهالمعلومة ما حدا منكم كان بيعرفها قبل. This is what a dynamic ad looks like. So you see here, you set this ad once, and it shows up differently depending on where it's displayed. So how it's displayed on the website, the same shape as different parts of the site. How it's displayed on the mobile. Like كيف تغير محل الصورة، كيف تغير التكست، تغير لون URL, button site هون. So this is called a dynamic ad. A dynamic ad shifts, actually it's called a responsive ad to be exact. It shifts according to what the medium is. If you want to be exact on what a dynamic ad is, it's an ad that gets data from your CRM and replaces things inside the ad, which is also a very advanced tactic. We'll talk about it hopefully when you get to that level, because it's also an expensive ad to run. This is a different type of ad. Sometimes Google kills you with ads. So هون فرض مرة we have a video ad, we have a banner ad, another banner ad, and buttons, and they're all towards downloading something, which in this case are slides. So the key point, when you go on Google Ads platform, on the AdWords platform, you'll find that Google splits these ads into 3 main categories: search, display, and video. And I split them into all these because I want you to think about the goal of your campaign. If anything, by the way, guys, I know I might be saying something that's completely new to you that you've never heard of before. If at any point you find something that's not clear, please stop me and ask Lily. Okay? So شو قصدي أنا be the goal of your ad? أي متى آخر شايفينها بهالطريقة؟ أي متى آخر مرة حدا منكم كبس على a banner ad on a website or on a mobile app? Can anyone remember a time when you did that on purpose?
Very few times.
Very few times, yeah. Out of the hundreds of ads you see, you might have clicked on 2 or 3. Am I right in assuming that?
Yes.
Jana, Rafi, Afaf.
Well, it's out of curiosity sometimes. Yani, there's something that يعني you need وطلع it popped up ساعتها you would click on it out of curiosity يعني so this is the only time I can remember I clicked on an ad.
You remember a single time يعني specific single time هيك عم تقول لي.
انت عم تحكي عن search ads هول اللي بيكونوا
لا انا عم بحكي على حساب البانر ادز قبل السيرش ادز.
اوكي.
سو انت متى اخر مره بس على سيرش اد؟ على بانر اد سوري.
Again, if the content of the ad is relevant to something that I care about.
ما عم بقول لك why did you؟ عم بقول لك متى اخر مره you actually did do it؟
I don't remember بصراحة.
Exactly my point. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. The display ad is not an ad designed to trigger an action. It's an ad designed to trigger a memory or trigger something to keep it top of mind for you. Okay, so it's what would follow you around if you go to a website and then you find the ad somewhere else of that website. It's just to remind you of it. The whole point of that ad is not to get you to click it, it's to get you to remember it. بينما a search ad, most of you here probably, if you're tech savvy, you probably skip the ad and go to the first result. That's not an ad. But I think a lot of us go straight to the ad. أول شيء بيطلع. Actually, statistically speaking, 70% of clicks on the search engine results page, the SERP, happen on the first ad. Because people are lazy and because most of the time these ads are relevant to what we're looking for.
Nader?
Right? Yes.
Is it possible إنه sometimes you're looking for a specific company but then بالads بيطلع لك الcompetitor تبعهم?
Yes, that's very possible, and you can do this. You can set this up on Google Ads.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
So هون بنصير نحكي على specific keywords and specific pixels. We'll discuss this later. And حتى هون ما fit بالpixels because we have like 50 slides to go, and I don't think we're going to get through them all. If we do, we'll discuss pixels and explain the process of retargeting in more in depth. To begin promoting on Google Ads, you need to understand a few key phrases, keywords. Ad rank, quality score, SERP, bidding, keywords, and audiences. Let's just do a quick test here. There are not many people, so we can actually run this test. مين هون بيعرف what's quality score? Okay, I'll take that as a no one.
As a quality score is which ads are doing better than others?
You're very, very close.
Okay.
You're very, very close, but also far because it's the opposite way around. You improve your quality score for the ad to perform better. Okay, who here knows what bidding is? Anyone wants to try? I'm guessing most of you don't. Most of you would not know what it is, but anyone wants to try?
So let's say, for example, Google is offering an ad, for example, to promote an ad campaign, and they're trying to set a price, and people say, يعني مثلا they're willing to pay at the minimum. So basically that gives Google an idea of how much it should charge. You know, does this work around? In the same way that
you're thinking logically, but it's a very foreign topic. I would understand why you don't get it. Listen, you're thinking very logically, and you're actually also getting close by going through that thought process. Type. I'm not going to ask anymore. I'm just going to dig right into it. أول شيء بنبلش بالad rank. Ad rank is literally where you place as a result on the search page. So the best way to do this is to give you an example. Wait, I think I went back one. Let's search for restaurant. Okay, bad search, especially in COVID times. Let's try. buy shoes. Okay, perfect. So an ad rank, I think you guys can see my screen perfectly, right? Properly.
Yes.
Okay, good. So an ad rank is where your ad shows up in the ad placements. So إذا ملاحظين هون في عندنا 3 ad placements بس. Right? So your ad rank is either 1, 2, or 3. ما عندكم any other option for this particular keyword. The ad rank is determined based on your quality score. I will dig into what the quality score is and what the keyword is. First point I want to make clear to you guys. Google does not sell an ad campaign to anyone. Google sells access to put an ad on a keyword. A keyword is any phrase, word, or words you put in the search bar to get a specific result. So a keyword might be 7 words long, or it might be 1 word long. General rule of thumb for everyone, the shorter the keyword is, and if it's 1 word, the more expensive it's going to be to bid on. Chat, let's see. ما حقدر أكمل عم حاول لكن تعبان حسي. اوكي. سلامتك عفاف. اوكي. يلا بنشوفك next session ما تعتلي هم. وهلا انا حابعت البرزنتيشن لشيلا هي حتوزعها على الكل. Okay. So نرجع نحكي عن keywords بس لأنه so I can remember my trail of thoughts. كنا نقول إنه a keyword is any phrase, word or words that you put into search bar to get a result. شو عم تعمل جوجل هون؟ It's monetizing your intent. يعني when you intend to do something, you search for it on Google and Google monetizes that intent. شو معنى monetizing intent? It means it's taking the best opportunity to show you the ad because at that time you're most likely to make a purchase or make a conversion for a business. يعني you would very rarely, actually no, you would do it a lot of time, but no, you wouldn't consider searching for shoes online if you weren't thinking about buying them. If you weren't thinking about buying shoes online, right? And because you're thinking about it, it makes you perfect target for people who are selling shoes. That's what monetizing intent means. يعني عم بيعملوا مصاري عن نية الشراء تبعكم. انتم ناويين تشتروا جوجل بتعمل مصاري عنا على فكرة بس عن هالتفكير تبعكم. So مثل ما قلنا ad rank where you place in the search results page and it's determined by your quality score. Quality score. A Dell ad is viewable and how good is the ad for the people using it. So to understand how quality score is calculated, when you publish an ad on Google, it first shows it to a small subset of people. If it has a high click-through rate, it means it would have a high quality score. That means your ad will rank much higher. Okay? It's very simple. It's based on click-through rate. Basically, how many times it's shown to people versus how many times it's clicked on. In Facebook, it's called engagement. Things that affect quality score, we said, it's mainly click-through rate, بس ليه عم نحكي احنا عن ad content and copy ولا عم نحكي عن landing page quality ولا عم نحكي عن landing page conversions. So to do that, we have to go back to the search engine results page, the search page, and understand. So when you look at these, you see 3 types of headings. A lot of text. This one has an expanded text with some description. The one that I find most attractive is the one I'll click on. Normally that would be either the most relevant one to me as Nader or the most properly written headline, right? So this one seems attractive. These people know what they're doing. They split them. They have a lot of options. They already told me that 2,000 men to 5,000 women. Okay, the second part of this is the landing page. If I'm offered what I was looking for instantly, it means I've gotten value out of this process. So a good landing page increase my quality score because it's more likely I'm going to make an action here. So I'm going to like this. I like this shoes, which apparently is أبشع offer على website. You go here, you look at it. هلا what Google saw اللي شفته جوجل بهالinteraction انه انا شفت هالاد كبست على الاد وبس على landing page كبست على شيء بهالlanding page, which means this is a very high quality ad, so I'm going to show it to more people and I'm going to raise its quality score. That's why the landing page is important, because Google does measure the impact of the ad on the next step. مثلا بسmart crowd we have very high quality score لأنه بسmart crowd we are hitting conversion rates on landing page of about 30 to 40%. To give you an idea how good that is, industry averages are in the 10 to 8%, sometimes less. That's why Google loves our ads and they keep pushing them up, and we always pay less for them. And that's what optimizing your ads means. Things that affect ad rank, quality score, volume, search, and competitor bids. Now, actually, let's leave this for a second. لأنه هشرحها بعدين كمان. Let's just keep this in mind so we can go through, because it's already 4:20 and we still have quite a bit to go through. A SERP is something you'll hear about quite often. It just literally means the page where the results are showing up. So in this case, it's this page. That's what a SERP is. Search engine ranking page. Bidding is the process of a day you're willing to pay as a maximum, not as a minimum, for the keyword. You set it up into a new account, and then that's what you do. So, the main factor for a high quality ad is quality score. For high ad rank is quality score. Another factor is bidding. And a quality score has more of an impact. But as a quality score, if 10 people are bidding on the same keyword, and they have similar quality scores, what determines who wins the higher position is the bid. So مثلا أنا وفي are bidding on the same keyword, and we both have the same quality score, بس أنا حاطة هالكيورد بدفع $10 هو حاط بيدفع $30. Google put me first. But it doesn't end here. So Google, because they want to make sure that they maintain my business, لأنه بس أنا وفي are bidding on this keyword وأنا 10 هو 3, they won't charge me 10 for the click. They would charge me $3.01. So Google always goes for 1 cent higher than the next bid, if all else is equal. Clear so far? Remember, guys, so you can ask as many questions as you want. We're basically just 6 people.
Let's say, for example, أنا بدي أحط an ad. بدي أحط $20 for the click. Well, but in reality, I don't have that much budget. يعني. Won't Google automatically actually choose me first because I'm putting the higher number?
No, because your quality score matters more. So, do you know what's a weighted average, صح?
Sorry, بس عيد.
A weighted average.
I'm not sure about it.
Okay, so let me explain what it is. So if you have 3 items and you take their average, say I have an item valued about 5, another item valued about 7, item valued about 10. The average تبعهم is 7. This is the regular average, right? But إذا أنا بقول لك I have 10 people who own the number 5, 50 own the number 10, and only 1 person owns the number 7. What's the average now? It's somewhere above 7. صح ولا لا؟ 8, 9 تقريبا. That's what the weighted average is. Weighted average أنت عم تعطي أهمية للشيء اللي له معنى أكثر من الشيء الثاني when all other things are equal. So in the case of a bid and a quality score has a 70% weight and bid has 30% weight. So mostly, if the quality score is higher, definitely the higher quality score is going to rank first. think of it in a different way as well, like mission basic math in just basic business logic. It's more profitable for Google to maintain you as a client that's seeing the ads, which is what people are paying for, than to lose, it's more profitable to keep you than to lose a high bidding client. لأنه a high bidding client is just one client, بينما you represent a majority of people. So if there's something that you don't like, it's very likely a lot of people won't like it. But if he's bidding high on something, it's likely he's unknown. So it doesn't matter on how high your bid. Ta'atik example. A day Google is fair. I'm going to show you a live example, which is straight from our ad account. Guys, do you like this type of content, by the way?
It's very useful, but it's just getting used to the lingo and the formulas لحتى الواحد يتذكرهم.
Yeah, I understand. You're gonna get the presentation for that, but in the type of material.
Oh, it's extremely useful actually.
Sarah, what do you think?
Yes, it's very helpful بس كمان كتير technical اليوم. New concept.
معنا قلت بعطيكم شيء hands on أكثر من أشياء مش hands on. Okay, so let's not take. Actually, I should raise these budgets. Okay. And I will go back a few days and I'll explain to you why I'm doing this. Okay. So let's go back to. Oh, actually, no. This time period is what I want. Okay. So هلا انتم شفتوا النمبرز هون بس these were impacting recent data. I want to show you here. بهالوقت انا كنت عم بدفع 600 درهم بالنهار على السنه حتى budget to get these ads. I was barely spending it. So لاحظتوا بين هي وهيك عندي 1200 درهم. هلا هيدي اعطيتك على كل البيريود. اللي تصرفوا هون بنهار. هون لازم ينصرفوا بنهار واحد صرفتهم على جمعه. ليه؟ لأنه my ads have a quality score that's so high that my competitors, no matter how high they bid, they can't beat me.
So basically, you have way more impact in very minimal, using very minimal.
صح. So أنا أعطي جوجل مجال تصرف قد ما بدها مصاري. بس لأنه my quality score is so high, I'm always beating everyone on a much lower budget.
يعني نادر إنه every time your ad is appearing customers أو potential customers that are clicking on it.
Okay, let's find out. So عندنا نحن هون interactions which are clicks, 600 interactions على 47,000 impressions. يعني our CTR is 1.39%, which is not high. I agree. But let me show you why my quality score is so high. Look here. These numbers are basically unheard of in the industry, especially in the real estate industry. So that's why Google is prioritizing our ads.
So if we were to take the analogy back to the shoes, so let's say مثلا I'm a shopkeeper وعم بفتح shoes اسمه مش بعرف it's a new brand versus Nike. يعني I need to spend way more because يعني Nike one small ad has way more weight than mine because انت في عندك يعني مصداقيتك اكبر كمان. Does it work with
theoretically معك حق بطريقة تفكيرك بس كيف تفكر بطريقة ثانية. If I rank second, I might still get clicks and my quality might be higher because Nike is designed to reach a lot of people. عرفت كيف؟ But if I'm targeting a specific segment of people that are loving my shoes no matter what قدام مين ما كان, because I'm targeting a very specific segment of people that I know love my products, I will always rank higher than Nike, no matter how much they spend. Is that clear?
Yes, interesting actually.
Nader?
Yes.
The conversion rate they're measuring it يعني إنه people are subscribing to the service أما they're buying the product.
So basically when you set up Google Ads, you set up a analytics system which is Google Analytics, and there's a set of conversion metrics تخبر الديفلوبر تبعك I want these conversions to show up in Google Ads. هو بيحط a specific piece of code inside the place where the conversion happens, and that's how Google sees it. And then they use that to calculate how things are going.
Okay, so you're defining what's conversion.
Yes, you define what's a conversion, but Google also monitors, even if you don't have conversions defined, they monitor a day dollar user on that site and how many times he clicks.
Okay.
سؤال نادر. I ما بعرف شو هي terminology بس there is one that tracks where the customer goes in the website and clicks وكذا, and if he doesn't do any specific action, Google بيلحقه كمان with more ads. Is this
It's called a cookie.
Okay, great. Okay, I love cookies. Is this something that we also need to put as something to track as well?
It's part of the analytics snippet that you put in. So انت بس تحط Google Analytics, basically حطيت cookie on your website, and then you link it to AdWords, and then AdWords uses that cookie to follow people around.
Okay.
So let's continue. So شرحنا شو keywords already. Audiences. هلا نحن حكينا كل شيء حكينا لحد هلا حكينا بالcontext of search. صح؟ انت هلا رفيق حكيتني احسب الكوكي which is what follows people around, and that's what builds an audience. An audience is just a group of people with a shared set of characteristics that is important to your business. It can be demographic, or it can be interest based, or it can be behavior based. Clear? Straightforward, ما فيها شيء معقد, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in Google, there are a ton of ad types. I want you to focus on 3 main ad types. Affinity, اللي هي interest-based audiences. In market, any people that have made an intent to purchase a similar product. Our remarketing, any people who have went to your site and you're following them around, just like we talked about in a few seconds ago. It's literally just a setting that you find. Wait, someone. Thank you, Jana. It's literally something you find when you go here, tools and settings, conversions is where you set up your conversions, and this is where you set up your audiences. Okay? هلا في اشياء اسمها bid strategies, عياشين, negative keywords, هذه كلها عياشين. For now, all you need to know is when you make an ad, you target an area, a keyword, a specific characteristic of people. Don't think about anything else for now. So هي كمان حكيناها. Important note about how to set up conversions, how to tell Google what they are. You guys are asking the right questions. We talked about them. Google Analytics, Google Ads conversions, and Google Search Console. هيدي منا إجبارية بس لأنه when you're measuring data and you're understanding things across the entire funnel, adding SEO data اللي بيطلع من هون, هي تعطيكم SEO data, would be very helpful for you to understand how you're performing overall and how to improve it by taking advantage of small gaps. Okay, ما حتعبكم كتير. We're just going to go through this because I think طوشتكم شوية. هبعتكم the presentation and then we continue it at some other time. But first, let's talk about some quick pieces of information about that people always get wrong about AdWords. First thing, كمان حكيناها, you always need to be the highest paying per person or the highest bidder to get good rankings, and we also said that that's false. Your quality score is much more important, so Google will always prioritize that. Second point, Google ads are expensive. They're not. You can get started for as little as $5 a day, and if you know what you're doing, or if you're at least testing and trying out new things, you're probably going to make that money back and much more. Google ads impacts your SEO. A lot of people think that if you spend money on Google, it improves your SEO score. This is not verified. Google says it doesn't. We've seen cases where it does, and at least there's a correlation, if not a causation. People hate clicking on ads. I don't know why people think that, but we have proven that people click on a lot of ads and people actually interact with any ad that solves their problem. You said it yourself. I click on the ad if it's something that interests me or that is something I want. More keywords equals more results. That's definitely false. You need to be selective about your keywords. You need to understand what keywords are relevant to your business, and you need to take control of those. Because if I'm a shoe business and I'm posting ads on when people search for dresses and jackets and pets, I'm just basically wasting money. Waslan, my quality score would be so small that I won't even rank. So شو بدكم كافيه بدكم واقفون الكافيه بعدين؟ لأنه هون صار عم نحكي بالديتيلز حسب keywords وحسب تفاصيل.
I'm okay either way.
Sure guys. رفيق جانا.
ميتو انا ما في مشكله.
يلا لكن الناس كل.
The only thing matters here is, if we get to practice this, but again, if we can get at least the presentation with some keywords, at least this will refresh our memory so that we don't have a lot of compiled data in one go. Just a matter to
فينا نسال كم سؤال؟
طب okay, let's go into Q&A. And it'll be easier for you guys, and have the presentation shared. And Sheila, please make sure to circulate it to everyone as well. Let's not make it private. How is it doing that?
Is this presentation the continuation of the previous one that you sent us, or it's a different link?
No, Heidi, it's a different link, different everything. حتى أول شيء you'll find the cheat sheet I found for you guys based on previous session. يعني churn rate والقصص سألتني عنها أنت.
Okay.
Okay. So let's finish this part and explain why QS increases with user behavior. So normally when a person wants to buy something or search for something online, they go through this process. They first realize that they have a problem. It annoys them so much that they start searching for a solution. And then they go on Google, they look for that solution, they look for a keyword, they find your ad, they click on your ad if it's relevant. They learn about your product on the website and how it solves their problem. Remember the focus on the problem here. The user either makes a purchase or leaves your site. We're going to assume he makes a purchase. And if he's so happy, he refers a product. So if you have your analytics set up properly, you can measure the performance of your ads from the moment they see your ad to the moment they make a purchase or refer someone. And you can literally map it out in a funnel, and that's when you know what you're doing and what's doing well and what's doing wrong. Okay? So how do you actually work on improving your quality score? Step one is keyword research. To do good keyword research, it's not just ما بتقعد انت بتفكر بس انه people search for شيء خاص by business and that's it. You have to look at data, physical data from the market that explains to you how the market's performing, how it's processing, how it's moving up, how it's moving down, what are people searching for, what are things. Now to do that, you need a specific set of tools. Before we go into this, these tools, this is the list. We suggest Google Keyword Planner. Google Keyword Planner you find inside AdWords, by the way. It's right here. Uber Suggest is a completely separate tool. This is it. Did I click on something else? Yes, I did. This may be an SEO thing, but it tells you a lot about user behavior and what are people looking for. So it tells you what to create as an ad. Ahrefs is a paid tool. SEMrush is a paid tool, but they're very useful if you have the money for them. They're a bit expensive, so they're like $100 a month, but they're worth the money once you reach a point where your business is dependent on ads. Google Trends shows you behavior over time. And you go to it through here, trends.google.com. To give you an example, So in the past 12 months, this is how many times, this is not how many times, this is how popular the word pandemic was in Google searches. This is specifically where you can choose any country around the world.
And this allows us to choose specific keywords that are most trending.
صح. These are the tools that help you find out what to go for. SpyFu allows you to spy on your competitors. So if you have a competitor who's publishing Google Ads, you put their domain in SpyFu, and it tells you what ads they're displaying and what keywords are they targeting, so you know how to target them. هلا حتسألوني ممكن تسألوني كلكم إنه can you target a competitor's name? Yes, you can. There's no law against it, and not even Google prevents it. فإذا أنا my competitor is أنا عم بيع shoes أنا Adidas وmy competitor is Nike, في أنا أحط a keyword Nike shoes. Okay, but know this, that a person who's specifically searching for Nike shoes, even as a an ad for Adidas, he won't click on Adidas. It just gives you brand recognition, and it might not be good brand recognition. It's not that useful, but you can do it if you want to. To answer your question, Sarah, that you asked earlier. Hala, when it comes to an ad, what do you think about to improve your quality score? You have to think about the keywords, but you have to think about the ad copy, which is the most important, one of the most important parts, which is split into headline, description, and extensions. Extensions in the whole issue تحت. Wait, I have a screenshot here we can use to explain. Okay. So this right here is the headline. This is a description, and these are the extensions. Okay. You rework how these show up in multiple different combinations, multiple different wordings, phrasing, whatever, until you find the one that gets you the best results. That improves your quality score. So now, okay, landing page has to go through the same process where you test the landing page copy from the headline to the actual images, to the colors, to the layout, everything, so you can improve your conversion rates. Guys, listen, Bukra, we have a session Circuit مع one of the best people in the world who does conversion rate optimization. اسمه Edgar Spongolds. If you're interested, the webinar link is in Slack. Sign up. You like it's for free, and it's very beneficial. He's one of the best people in the world. He's basically going to focus on this part. Okay?
Okay.
Now, factors to consider in keyword research: volume, expected cost per click. You can get that from Keyword Planner. That's why it exists. And it's relevant to your business كما حكينا. هلا هون عم نحكي صرنا كتير details into the type of keywords we're going to be targeting. There are four types of keywords you can target: exact match, broad match, modified broad match, and phrase match. Exact match is when you only want your ad to show up on exactly the phrase that you set up. يعني إذا أنت حاطط phrase that you're selling pet dresses أو pet dresses in Beirut، ما بدك قاعد يبين إلا على pet dresses in Beirut. حاطين broad match. أنا بلش exact match. So it will only show up on pet dress in Beirut. It won't show up on dress in Beirut, nor will it show up on pet dress. Broad match, which is the default setting about Google, will show an ad for any kind of combination of the words, and anytime these specific words in the phrase will show up in search. So is that time broad match for the keyword? So as your keyword is pet dress in Beirut, your ad is going to show up for pet in Beirut. It's going to show up for dress in Beirut, and it's going to show up for pet dress, and it's going to show up for pet. Every single possible combination, and any possible مثلا pet dress in Beirut downtown, or I want a pet dress in Beirut, how they show up in broad match. I know this seems like the best way to go because it gives you the most volume, but it generally has the lowest number of clicks because it's not very targeted. Hello, what you can do is you can set up a broad match, and you can monitor the behavior of the ads and how you're getting, how many clicks you're getting, and on which keywords you're getting those, and then you start narrowing down into more of an exact match. Modified broad match, but بتحدد one part of the keyword that has to be there no matter what happens. You identify that with a plus. فإذا حط plus pet dress in Beirut, the word pet has to be in every single time that the ad shows up. Because أنا specified على pet. If I want pet dress to show up in every, to be there, put plus pet plus dress in Beirut. ساعتها pet dress in Kuwait, pet dress in Jabal, pet dress in Cyprus. It will show up depending if انتوا حاطين geolocation or not, which probably you will be, and most of the time it's very unwise not to. Exact match حكينا شوية. Phrase match, he specifies a bunch of words just like specification حكيناها بالplus, but instead of being one word, it's a whole phrase, and it forces it to show up everywhere. It has to be there to show up in the ad. When you get advanced, you can do a phrase match مع a fill in the blank word. مثلا إذا واحد عم يعمل إذا أنت هاي أمازون بتعملها كتير. So let's say your store is global and you sell footballs or shoes all over the world. You do a phrase match on pet dress and a dynamic match on the keyword after it. So when someone searches مثلا for shoes in UAE, Google replaces UAE in UAE inside the keyword and adds it to your ad content. But again, that's a bit advanced, so don't think about it for now. So what's the best keyword type? There is no best keyword type. There's a strategy, and depending on how it matches your strategy, you work it out. Okay? And now I want to show you what is a really good piece of copy that someone used to get an investment, a very large investment at that. Okay? Look at these tips, for example. أول شيء, headline should be enticing بس مش عم تبيعوا فيه. Description should tell the user enough to make an informed decision if this is what they want to click on or not. بس ما تكون too detailed وما تكون too many flashiness خبرية. Look at this one. So Database was looking to get an investment from someone called Mark Suster. They literally created an ad on a phrase match basis for the word Mark Suster in case he Googles his own name, and he gets this ad if he saw his own name. And you can do that if you want to, by the way.
لحظة بس ما فهمت this example. Can you repeat please?
So basically عملوا phrase match. They want to get an investment in a specific person. Because this person is a public figure, so it's very likely he's gonna be Googling himself quite a few times. صح ولا لا؟
صح.
So based on this logic, عملوا a phrase match Google ad where the phrase was Mark Suster, and every time Mark Suster is searched, you get this ad, trying to get him to click on their to get to their landing page and eventually download their pitch deck and invest in them. So look how brilliant the copy is. Mark Suster, you have it invested in no code. Database.io, which is us. Therefore, we put this ad here to get your attention. If you're not Mark, please don't click and save us some money. No coding required. How to access the actual tool. Drag and drop builder, super easy to use, free trial, forms, tables, maps, and calendars.
Talk about exclusivity.
So, ما سمعت.
Talk about exclusivity.
And that's it for today, guys. I wanted to add specifics about how to set up a campaign and stuff, but I didn't end up adding them because I know we are out of time, and there we are. Do you have any questions before we leave?
All clear for me.
Thank you, Nader. Jana, did you find this useful? Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. I'm sad that إنه مش كتير عنا عم تحضر though. بقينا نحن بس 3 مع شيلا. طيب. See you guys. It was an honor.
Bye.
Bye. Talk soon.